Hello, welcome to the lesson. And can I just begin by saying, great choice. Sweet Home Alabama is a brilliant song. I've played it in loads of bands and we always used to save it to the end of the night because everybody loves it. And when they hear that riff, they go crazy. Let me just demonstrate now. Okay, I think you know what I mean. So let's begin. What I'm going to do is ask you to play the third string at fret 2 with your first finger, and then use your third finger, make sure you get this right, it's vital that you use the correct fingers here, onto the second string at fret 3. Now in this song we do use a little bit of palm muting. If you remember from the 12-part chorus, that's when you gently touch the strings with the palm of your hand and it deadens the notes. And what I'm going to ask you to do is pluck the fourth string, and you can hear it's slightly muted by the flesh there. Okay, so once you've plucked it once, I want you to take the palm muting off, so you can just raise your hand and pluck it again. So what we've got is this. One of them's muted and one of them isn't. Okay, good. Now you're going to pluck the second string and then the third string. So what we've got is this. Okay, brilliant. Now take your middle finger and put it across onto the fifth string at fret 3. And at this point you can now take your first finger off. So all we're left with is this finger on the fifth string at 3 and this finger on the second string at 3. I hope that makes sense. And now what you're going to do is the same again, but this time you're plucking the fifth string. So you're going to mute it and then pluck again with no mute. And now you're going to pluck the second string and the third string. So it should sound like this. Okay, good. So let me join those two parts together in slow motion. Okay, brilliant. So now take your middle finger and step it across onto the sixth string at fret 3. And you're going to do the same again, but this time on the sixth string. So you're going to put your palm muting on and you're going to pluck the sixth string, and then with no mute you pluck it a second time, and you're going to do this with the plectrum. And what I did there, I put the plectrum under the third string and I plucked upwards, and so I'm actually plucking the third and fourth string together like this. And they happen to be both open because they're both in between the fingers there. So what we got is... Okay, so let me join those three parts together now for you. Okay, brilliant. I'll show you the next bit. So what you need to do is hammer the fifth string open and hammer onto fret 2. So you pluck open and then you whack your first finger down onto fret 2. Now I assume at this point that you understand hammers and pull-offs, because of course if you think back we learned that in the free 12-part course. So if you don't remember it, go back and look at it again and refresh your memory. And if you haven't seen it at all, that course is free, so there's no reason why you wouldn't want to go and look at it anyway. There we go, there's the hammer. And then I'm going to ask you to hammer on the fourth string. So you pluck open and hammer onto fret 2, but this time you're going to pull off. So what that means is we pluck the fourth string once and we've hammered and pulled off without any further plucks from the plectrum. Like that. So just to demonstrate that again, so you've hammered the fifth string on and then hammer the fourth string on and pull off. Good. And now you're going to play the fifth string at fret 2 just once, and then you're going to play the fifth string open and hammer onto fret 2. Okay, so when we join all that together it should sound like this. And when you speed it up to full speed, it ends up like this. Okay, now that takes a lot of practice. I've taught a lot of people this song, and that is the one bit that they have to work on the most. So let me demonstrate what we've learned so far. I'll play it slow speed and then I'll play it at full speed. speed. Okay, good. Right, so you might want to rewind and watch that bit a few times to really get used to it. But what I'm going to ask you to do now is play the first section again, like this. Now, what happens is, instead of doing this hammer section, we're going to do a different section in its place. All will become clear shortly. So what I'm going to ask you to do is use your first finger on the 3rd string at fret 2, and you're going to pluck it and pull off. Pull off to open. And then you're going to pluck the open string again. So what it should sound like is this. Good. And then you're going to do the same, but at fret 4, still on the 3rd string. Good. And then you're going to go to fret 6 on the 3rd string, pluck and bend. Okay, so when we join that together, it should sound like this. Okay, brilliant. So I'm going to play the whole thing now from the start. Okay, and you can repeat that section round and round and round and round. So congratulations, that is the first part of the song. I'm now going to show you another bit. So remember, this is quite an advanced piece, so it'll take a bit of practice for you to get the hang of it. And by all means, print out the tab. You know, you downloaded the PDF document with this video. You can print out the tab and have it next to you so you can practice it in your own time. Great, so let's learn the next bit. It sounds like this. Okay, so what you need to do is take your first finger, put it on the 5th string at fret 7. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to pluck it and hammer the middle finger on and then the 3rd finger. So let me just demonstrate that. So it's like a double hammer. So it's one pluck and the other fingers hammer on. Now what you're going to do is use your first finger, and I'm laying it across the strings, almost like a bar really, but what I want is the 4th string and the 3rd string, so make sure you're holding down with plenty of pressure, and with the plectrum you're going to pluck strings 4 and 3. So they're both at fret 7. So when we join it together it sounds like this. Okay, there we go. Now if we move down, we're going to play fret 5 on the 5th string, and you're going to pluck it and hammer to fret 7 with your 3rd finger like this. And then you're going to use your first finger, similar to before. You're going to lay it flat across fret 5 like this, and you're going to pluck strings 4 and 3 twice. So it sounds like this. Okay, so let me just play that with the previous part. So there we go. And now you're going to finish by using the 5th string open, hammer on to fret 2, and you can use your middle finger. And then you're going to pluck the 4th string open and the 3rd string open. And then you're going to use your 3rd finger to come across onto the 6th string at fret 3. So when we join it together it sounds like this. Okay, so let me demonstrate that whole section to you. And full speed. Okay, good. So there's a lot to learn there. There's a lot to practice. I know there's a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs. It's quite fiddly. So I really encourage you to stick with it, because when you've got this song down, it is so fun to play. Now, if you're a person who enjoys strumming chords, you can always strum the chords, which are D, and then C, and then G. So I'm doing 2 strums on D, 2 strums on C, and 4 strums on G. and I finished on a G7 there. Okay, so there's plenty for you to learn. Have fun with this one. Thanks for coming to the lesson. Thanks for learning Sweet Home Alabama. Go and print out the tab. Good luck with it, and I'll see you soon in another lesson. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.